life and its duration, I've been learning about life, death, ascension and beyond. And I still cannot say with any confidence that I understand anything or any of it. I don't understand how to live forever, even though I feel that is actually possible, depending on which vantage point we're looking at, whether it's from the vantage point of the soul or from the body. So far, my understanding is that we run out of reasons to live, and so then we die. But as we're mastering life, if we're mastering life, we're constantly searching for reasons to stay alive in this body, or to stay alive as the eternal soul. It gets harder and harder as the body ages to shun the reasons to die and to find more reasons to live, because the body has its mechanisms. As we get older, we get pains, we develop intolerances. Some of us lose a sense or two, hearing, eyesight, and some of us have our senses completely turned upside down, where things suddenly seem all too loud, all too bright. The body's in too much pain. And I think the soul just takes it and takes it as much as it can until going, that's it, I've had enough. There's more reasons to go than there are to stay. So we die, usually between 70 and 90 years of age at the moment. But I've been contemplating through the teachings of Elmin and all this other wonderful content that's been shared. I've been contemplating and wondering about eternal existence. And I've been doing my best to live from the perspective of acknowledging eternal existence, as unfathomable as it is, completely. And from my experience, when I'm living this quality of acknowledged eternal existence, fear does not exist in my life. It's not real. There's absolutely nothing to be afraid of. There are no worries. Nothing. Everything is wonderful, magical. And if there is a drama or a severe problem that presents itself somehow, somewhere, I don't tend to be perturbed by it, because if I step out and into this tone of acknowledged eternal existence, it's just the biggest problem, honestly, in our human 3D awareness becomes the tiniest speck, almost an imperceptible speck, it's so tiny. I experienced something like this years ago, before I was even reading about these things and listening to these seminars, connecting with fellow students, discussing these concepts. I experienced it myself on my own, just being out in the outback, living in the bush at night time when the sky was clear. I had some stresses that I was thinking about and feeling. I stepped out under the stars, and out there, absolutely no light, no sound, nothing. All I could hear was my heartbeat, and as I craned my neck up to see the stars, for some indescribable sight. When you see the stars like that, you can't help but feel calm. And it's impossible to ignore that lack of presence of fear that washes over you. Instead, a feeling that washes over you of appreciation and awe. Dumbfounded by the absolute hugeness of everything out there, and how small we are down here in comparison. So when we zoom out like that, and we close our eyes, if we're not in that sort of environment, and just zoom right out, past the moon, almost like we're flying in a backwards direction, facing the earth, passing the moon, passing the planets, passing the sun, out, back out. Seeing our solar system as just a tiny little white speck among the bazillion other stars. Right out. Until you see bazillion solar systems. So zoomed out that all those solar systems just look like a cloud. A soft, glistening bunch of clouds. And in doing that, again, it's hard to feel any fear or stress at all, because life is so huge and we're so small. I've also experienced awe when I zoom in, right in, laying on the beach and examining the grains of sand. And so different, completely different to each other. A bazillion of them. And I say bazillion because I don't know a number any bigger, and I don't even know if that is a number. The only other word that would be appropriate would be infinitely infinite. Infinitely infinite grains of sand. Infinite little microorganisms. And they're at our feet all day, every day. Little bugs. All these little universes. All these little specks. Universes. Suddenly we're so huge and we have so much power. I think sometimes we forget to tread lightly through our walk through life. We forget how delicate everything around us is. So it feels good to me to remember how huge we are, but also how tiny we are. And to try and really tap into that feeling of eternal existence. Thinking of the age of the rocks. Thinking of the movement of this water. It's eternal. Never stops. Never will, never has. Whether it's moving as a body of water in the ocean, or it's moving up into the sky as a vapour, forming beautiful clouds that are infinitely nascent as well. Life is just poetry. If it's examined closely, yet far away, in an absolute contradiction, it's poetry. And it always is poetry, even when it's not being noticed. Life is a work of art. It's very hard not to appreciate it when we're looking at it, really looking at it with our hearts and feeling the emotions that we experience upon looking at the beauty and artistry of life. It's so simple. I think our brains talk too much and we miss it. But it is so simple. I need to remember that.